on your screens. Hopefully you had a lovely break. We are giving everybody a treat here for the long break, so everybody can have their time, check the things and
Get the
booms.
snacks.
Yeah, and get everything ready for the next matches to come. Of course, we do have one match on the table, as and since one of the matches is a bye win, since of course Orange Car Club is not able to participate, but so the Wild Things get sort of a get to the next round. They get a bit of an easy time, get a bit of a longer break, compared to Big Bonkers and Catgirl Maids, who will be on your screens as soon as everybody joins the server.
Yes, we have Maji and Annie playing against the Catgirl Maids, who are, of course, Miss and Misfit Maid, who we have seen in the first round here. So let's see what they make of that one. The first round by Misfit Maid and Miss was lost from Fairy Tale. They beat them, and the Fairy Tales will now play the Birds of Prey, but that will be in the next round, so we won't see that quite yet. And yeah, Big Bonkers versus Catgirl Maids. Have we seen that matchup before?
It
Have
eludes
we?
me at least that they have faced each other, because usually Catgirl Mates haven't been able to get very deep into the tournaments quite yet. And the last time Big Bonkers went all the way to, well, almost the very end.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very hard to tell. I can't, at least from my own memory, if I have to think with my two brain cells that I have, they are not producing a result where they remember that Catgirl Maids and Big Bonkers faced each other. But
No, I'm looking at the brackets from last time, and I don't think they have met yet. So this could be an interesting matchup, one that we haven't seen before. No existing rivalries between those teams, and a clean slate. So let's see who can come out on top here. We're still waiting for the players to join the server. The Catgirl Maids are here, but the Big Bonkers are not yet there. So if you are in their streams, give them a poke, because the match will be starting in 3 minutes. So they do need to get here, get ready. Let's see.
yeah, for the time being, at
Let's
least,
go. Yeah.
those are the two that we are waiting for at the moment. So hopefully they did get the memo that they are not out of the tournament.
Yeah.
They have matches to still play. They can go really far still.
I'm sure they know. I'm sure they know. They're just taking
Yeah.
some last minute practice laps and doing some strategizing.
It could be a
And
spam on the call. I don't know. I don't know if spam is streaming at the moment, or maybe spam is giving like a quick pep talk, or maybe quickly chatting to them. Hey, do this, do that, and go.
I'm not
And
sure he is on the call with them. I think it's just the two of them actually, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
it could be possible. I haven't
Yeah.
quite checked as well. But as far as I know, I think spam is actually live as well, so maybe not able to share the communications and stuff as well. But we will see how things will go. I mean, everybody will have an interesting time. We see Machi is slowly arriving. Maybe they needed like a pep talk, between the two,
Exactly.
a bit of a talk,
For
Okay,
strategy session.
yeah, maybe like Meow, like they were talking. Oh, Meow didn't go as well, but hey, don't worry. We can still, we can go really far. Still, we can do well. Everything's still possible. And Misfit made as well in chat, very vocal as well.
Neon in chat as well.
Yeah, as well. And Neon is also in chat. Wasn't
Oh,
able to be
fantastic.
here today, but he's here in spirit, as always. And Misfit made. I mean, hey, a bit of practice, you can definitely go still far. So don't hang up the coach yet. You don't have to settle quite down yet. You still have plenty of action to come as well. So definitely keep an eye out. But for the time being, I do believe that we are gonna soon start, because, well, at least
15
the count.
seconds to be the picks and bans. Yeah.
Yeah, the counter is already counting down. Everybody's on the server, so I'm gonna always switch when the pick and bans actually start, because that is always very cinematic and everybody gets a nice little surprise. And
There it
there
is.
it is. In game, we have the picks and bans with the Catgirl Maids, and of course, production has
Celestia
not
is out.
yeah, quality production hasn't changed the top right things booms there. So, he has
There
to
we go.
actually
Okay, we're
cool.
gonna see both new maps in this
Oh,
round. Celestia is banned, and also Attention is banned, which means we will see Viridian Hills played. Well, maybe not if it's the decider map. We might still not see it, but we'll see what the picks is. Sneaky Annie is picking a map for the Big Bonkers. Let's see what their preferred map is. I think Nest was one of their favorites last time. Of course, that has been taken out of the map pool. Decadence is going to be the first map on the roster. And let's see what Miss will put a counter
Illumination
to
or
that.
Viridian Hills, which will be their preferred
Exactly.
ones?
Which will be the map? I'm Viridian Hills. There we
We
go.
will
2
see
new
all the
maps.
new maps.
We will see the new maps. Of course, we've got Fire Breath and GJKF who have given us the maps for this week. There were a couple of submissions, and those are the ones we picked. Super Nation will be the random map if we go to 3 maps. Of course, it's a best of 3. So let's see what the ladies can put in place there. Let's put a good luck, have fun in chat. And we're going to have a short warm up of 30 seconds. 10 points wins you the map. 2 maps wins you the match. And Big Bonkers versus the Catgirl Maids. Not a matchup we've seen yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how they match up to each other. Both have lost their first match, so now it is fighting for survival because I think the team that loses this matchup will be out of the tournament. Is that correct?
Well, it
Let me
is now
see.
the lower bracket, meaning that there is,
Exactly,
in
yeah.
some sense, it is a sudden death. So, you know, if you lose this
Yes.
match, then it is sort of you will go into the stands to watch alongside with us.
And your weekend will be over, unfortunately. Well, not the weekend, but you're driving
Yeah.
of the weekend. It will be
I mean,
over.
technically,
Yes,
you
your
can
weekend will
drive
still,
along. You can sort of
You can.
do a practice match while they are playing on screen. You could be in game, sort of driving along and seeing where you place. You know, yes, it's a
Exactly.
bit interactive stuff. But we are on Decadence. Let's do a bit of a cinematic view of the map as well. There it is. Definitely a beautiful map, and definitely a map that I feel like fits everybody. It has a little bit of everything. It doesn't have ice. So you know, you never have ice, but you have everything: grass, dirt, road, plastic. We have it all. What do the teams have to offer? Well, we're about to see because the round is on
We're
the
about
way.
to find out.
Yep, and that we'll see. Misfit Maid, when she first played the map here, she had a bit of a struggle. But of course, the opponents were Fairy Tale. I mean, it's very hard to say where everybody is. But Maji, I mean, but Misfit Maid gets a bit of water there, and now absolutely in the wall. So it is up to Miss to really take it here. But Miss touches the wall as well. No, it's not going as well for the Catgirl Maids as you would love to see. I mean, it is technically the Big Bonkers picks, you know, so you gotta give them credit as Sneaky Annie.
But Annie.
It's a wobble there. Miss overtakes her as well, you know. There's points on the board, but unless Sneaky Annie gets a bit of a snipe in the end, not quite. Not quite.
Wow. Okay. So there's a match gonna happen here. That's already totally clear. Maji with a very fast round. Miss in second place, Sneaky Annie in third, and Misfit Maid in fourth place. The score is 2-1 in this first round of this matchup. And we're going into round 2. Maji in a nice first position. Let's see if she can repeat that feat. Right now, she is with her teammate in first and second place, and it is Miss who is very close behind, actually taking over that second place. But it's Sneaky Annie now in the lead, and Miss has a little bit more speed than Maji, so she will take over that second place. And oh, look at that. No, she had a really good exit, but it was a little too good because she could not quite control it. Flew out into the side there, and now it is once again the Big Bonkers in first and second. Let's see if they can. Yeah, there you go. It's another. It's not another ace. It is an ace. The score will be 5-1. And Miss did she was keeping up though, but unfortunately it was not quite 100% clean, and that will cost them. So that is the 5-1 score for the Big Bonkers, putting them in a really good position.
Yeah, if there's any match you want to build confidence at the moment, it is definitely this one. The Meow match, of course, the age-old rivalry of the Women's Racing League at this point. Sneaky Annie, a bit too close to the pole there, or the part there gives away the position, so it gives more opportunities. As Misfit Maid has a bit of a fumble at the back, it puts Maji and Miss at the front at the moment, and possibly if Miss can catch up to her and take over at the end. Could be some good points, but a bit too wide, has to release a bit. allows Machi to have a bit more time to set up and make that end comfortably 1 and 2 for them. Sneaky Annie comes in a comfortable third position. There's nothing else or nothing more she has to do, you know. As long as you get more points than the other team in the round, mathematically you are gonna eventually win. And with 7-2 on the scoreboard, that is track point possibility with an ace in the next round.
Indeed, an ace is what is needed to close it out right now. But of course, if they don't, then there are still opportunities to do so, because the gap is 5 points right now, which is quite a big gap already, especially if your other team is on map point. Annie and Maji both with a very good start, but it's Miss who is still very close behind. Only 0.3, so anything can happen here, especially when Annie makes a little bit of a fumble and slows down. Miss might be able to overtake here. She has a little bit more speed. Can she keep that outside dirt line? She can. It is a battle between second place here. No, it is Miss who crashes into the wall, which opens the door for that ace that the big bunkers need. But Annie a little bit wide, it doesn't matter. The ace is on the board, and just like that, they win the track. And that was an unfortunate miscalculation from Miss, which allows Annie to secure the ace for her team. And it is 1 map to 0. Catgirl Maids have some work to do now.
Yeah, that is indeed so. But they are going to their own map pick, which is Viridian Hills, the map we are going to be seeing for the first time on, at least on the stream. I don't know if any other matches had it as well before, but it is a map that has been introduced for the November event, which will also feature in the December Championship event, where all of the maps that we've had so far will be displayed, and also the 2 new maps, which we will give you a teaser of tomorrow. But for today, we'll have a bit of a tease of Viridian Hills, a very simple map, everything considered. There's nothing too overly complicated about this one. It is very grass and roads. You have, at least to my calculations, 2 drifts. No, actually 3 drifts on the map, and that is it. So it's a very paced map, and if you can get the flow going here, it can be a very fun map. But this drift that comes after that checkpoint can be very crucial. But for the time being, well, we'll see how they will do.
Exactly. This is not a map where you are likely to crash a lot, but there is a lot of room for optimizations and tiny little better lines and no slides and all that kind of stuff. Better drift. So let's see who has the best round here. Maji in first place for now, but she is closely followed by Miss and her teammate Sneaky Annie. And that is a very nice landing from Miss, actually taking a little bit of that ramp cut, so she lands a little bit sooner, gets a lot of exit speed. She takes over first place here from Maji, and Mischief made unfortunately 2 seconds behind, but it is Miss still in the lead. No, Maji has taken over again. Here she goes into the finish, and it is actually half a second deficit. Maji with a good ending, and that's a 2-1 for the big Bonkers, who take the lead in this second map. And of course, if they win the second map, they will win this matchup and stay in. And unfortunately, the one who loses this matchup will be out of this step. So the stakes are high. Sneaky Annie is in the lead now with a nice inside line there, taking first place. And Creedy, tell us what happens next.
Well, it's easy to tell that at the moment Misfit Maid will be on the towards the back end of the grid, if you want to say it like that. But Sneaky Annie and Maji at the moment, Annie actually being the one to take the helm for this round. But it's very important here that on the grass, as Miss has a bit of airtime, you want to catch the gear properly. In the last round, that was sort of the downfall for Miss. She was turning when the gear was happening, so she lost a lot of speed compared to Maji. But with an ace for the big Bonkers at the moment, it will be a 5-1 scoreline. So looking rather good for the big Bonkers at the moment, going from maybe a bit more of a difficult match to something where they can, feel more comfortable. Sometimes you do need just, that one win on the board to get you going. But for the time being, it's for the Catgirl Maids to do everything in their power to deny big Bonkers of that map win.
Exactly, because the gap is 4 points, and it only takes a win and an ace, basically, and this match can be over. But Maji is not going to let anything stand in her way of that first place, it seems. And as Miss gets a no slide, unfortunately, which is going to extend the lead that Sneaky Annie and Maji have over her. There we go, into this drift. You want to be careful, you're not too inside. Annie almost clipping that side there, but they do pocket the ace right there. And that puts them 8-1, which is, of course, a perfect position to be in. They only need, like, 2 draws, 1 win, 1 ace. They have a lot of options right now. And the Catgirl Maids are in a very difficult position right now, because if they don't start getting aces, they're out. Annie, though, making the mistake right off the get-go. This opens the
Goes
door.
a bit too inside there and loses a lot of speed, and it's not the easiest to get that speed back, so it gives Misfit Maid a good position to deny points for the big bonkers. But it is Miss who really would like to get that first position, to really solidify those points for the Catgirl Maids. But at the moment, with Machi being a very good position at the moment and not really giving an inch, a mile, or any other measurement type you can possibly think of, she comes in first position, and it is such a good position that Sneaky Annie comes in third position. Misfit Maid wasn't able to capitalize on that early mistake by Annie, and with 10-2 on the scoreline, a quick match. It is the match point secure for the big bonkers. They go from being 2-0 to 2-0ing Catgirl Maids. So, it goes up and down. It's a roller coaster ride for the time being. But I'm glad to see that the big bonkers come out of it as well. And for Catgirl Maids, well, it was a short tournament, but they did get like points from other teams as well. So it wasn't like they were off the mark. There were some parts where they were able to, get something going. But for the time being, Misfit Maid already in chat. I don't know, maybe already one hand in chat, one hand in game. But hopefully she will be able to, get even more practice in. Because there is still possibilities with all the points that happen that people can qualify that don't really expect to be qualifying.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to the Cat Girls, or the Catgirl Maids, but we hopefully will see them in December. GG to you, and of course the Big Bonkers will continue on to the next round where they will face Wisp. Maybe we can take a look at the bracket, because we have 4 matches, actually 3 matches going on. Oh yeah, they will not face Wisp. They will actually get a bye for the next round. So the matches that we will get are Equinox versus Meow in the upper bracket, and then we have Fairy Tale versus Birds of Prey, which I think is going to be a very interesting match. And then, of course, we have the Lilies versus the Wild Things in the lower bracket. And especially the lower bracket is a dicey one, because if you lose, you will unfortunately be out. But, yeah, let's see. Equinox Meow, I think, will be very interesting. But Fairy Tale, Birds of Prey. I mean, the Fairy Tales, they're new in the tournament, of course, but they have won both their first 2 matches, so they're definitely coming in with a bang. Let's see what if the Birds of Prey will put a stop to their win streak, or maybe they will snack the Birds of Prey. Who knows what's gonna happen?
We'll have to wait and see, of course. Yeah, we have 3 matches that will be happening simultaneously. At least we had already a bit of a talk that we most likely will go for that Equinox versus Meow, because we haven't really seen anything from both teams. So I would be interested to know. We've seen a bit of Fairy Tale, we've seen a bit of Birds of Prey. Yes, Lilies we haven't seen yet, but if I was a betting man, I would put money on Lilies going through, so we might see them in the next round. But you never know, the Wild Things can do some wild things against the Lilies. Anything's possible there. But if you're interested in what match we will be looking towards next, it will be Equinox versus Meow. Both teams with 4 letters in their name. Which will be the better team out of the 2? To be the best 4-letter team, I guess, would be one way to put it. But I mean, I'm looking forward to that match, especially with Zara being on top, improving every single tournament, and Equinox, I don't know. I mean, Shorty is technically not playing today, so we see a bit of, maybe there's,
Pepper's gonna be playing. Yep.
everything's
Pepper's
possible.
back.
Yeah.
Spicy. She's gonna be spicy, maybe.
Everything.
I'm sure she's heard that one before.
Pepper, I mean, it just adds a little bit of spice to every match,
Exactly. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a good one. We've got Equinox versus Meow, Fairy Tale versus Birds of Prey, Lilies versus the Wild Things, and the Big Bonkers get a bye to the next round in the lower bracket. So we won't see them play next round. Those matches will start in 30 minutes, so we still have some time to kill.
As always, we are on
As
schedule in
always,
so much.
exactly. Like when you schedule like this, you don't get the overlap and the delays, but you do have some waiting time extra in between. But hey, that just means you can get another drink and go get another snack. But yeah, it's. What are your predictions for both matches? Quick fire round. Go.
I would have honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I think Meow will win
Quick
against
fire.
Equinox. I
Okay.
think Fairy Tail will win against Birds of Prey, and I
Okay.
think Lilies will win against the Wild Things. That's basically what's
Okay.
it gonna be. I'm going for the. I'm gonna go for the back end of the things, basically saying that we're gonna have a few upsets because I've been, of course, in some sense I'm a bit of a coach for Fairy Tail of sort of one hand sort of patting them on the back, letting you good job or do this and you're good to go, I guess. I've been looking at times from Pepper, unless she's doing some offline practice. Shorty Gray interviewing. Do you
Who
know anything
knows?
about Pepper? Other than that, Pepper's time haven't been a bit too fast, at least looking at the leaderboard. So I don't know where she sits at the moment. We haven't seen much of her throughout the tournament. It's been Shorty that we have seen. So I'm,
And we know
I'm
that Equinox
honestly.
won last time, so they can be fast for sure.
Apparently, Shorty says Pepper is very consistent. Is she consistently fast? Is the question. I want. As a okay. Now I'm going aside as a caster into coach. What are the PBs, offline PBs for Pepper? Can you please leak? Thank you very much. Um, either way, I'm looking forward. I think Meow will. I think Meow can give a good fight for Equinox, but Alinko is such a beast of a player. Like a lot of the time, she was carrying a lot of the matches. Of course, Shorty came through when she was having a fumble, but Linko is gonna be hard to beat for Meow. But Sarah and Ya, I think are up for the task. Fairy Tail and Birds of Prey, I have to be biased towards Fairy Tail, and Lilies and Wild Things. I think Lilies have more in the baggage, but Wild Things, the name says it itself. I think it can happen. Anything can happen.
They can be wild. Yeah, yeah. All right.
And yourself?
Myself, I would say Equinox for the first match. I think Zara and Yao have a good chance. I think it might be close, but I do think Equinox will take that win there. And I'm gonna disagree with you on the next match as well. I think the Birds of Prey might actually come out on top there. But on that third match, I do think the Lilies might take it. But hey, I'm happy to be surprised by any result. It's all about the ladies who are playing, and if I'm wrong, I don't really mind. I just want them all to have a good time and to drive good matches. And for you guys in chat to enjoy them all. So let's hope that that is the outcome here for today. Let's see. I think the next round is not the final round. We have one more round of matches in the lower bracket after that. So those will start at 9:30 CET. So we're gonna have one more round and then one after, and that will conclude it for today. And then we start again at 7 tomorrow. But for now, let's go to a little bit of a break, I think. Until the next round starts. It's gonna be a good one. We're getting to that point where you're trying to secure your upper bracket spots, and in the lower brackets you're trying to secure your spot still in the tournament, otherwise you're going to be out. So things are on the line right now.
Yeah, it's all up to the taking as well, and I'm looking forward to it as well. And with seeing some of the more, Equinox and Meow, I think we have a good banger on our hands. But other than that, we'll see how things will go. And as Valen rightly said, let's enjoy a bit of a break. It will be, if my math is right, approximately 20 minutes. But it's all in the case that if something goes wrong, if match, you can have overtimes and stuff like that. They can
we
drag
don't have
these.
delays this time.
Yeah, at least we don't have delays. I'm more than gladly have 20-minute breaks than just constantly be like, okay, match, 2 minutes break, match, 2 minutes break, match. It's like people can just cool off, enjoy their time. You can grab a nice drink as well in the meantime, and I could use some because my cup is a bit empty, so good for me as well. So without further ado and without me babbling on too much, we will go on to a break. approximately 20 minutes or so, give or take, and we will see you there. So don't go too far. We'll be right back.